This video will cover moderate questions regarding the limit at infinity. The first question is like this. We will use the limit property to expand everything. So, limit as x approaches infinity 3 plus same thing What does this mean? We can draw the graph y equals 3. This is exit. Can draw like this. This is y equals 3. When x equals 1, then y value is 3. When x equals 10, maybe here, the y value is also 3. When x is increasing and increasing, x approaches infinity, then still y value is 3. Therefore, this question shows this answer is 3 plus 4 over infinity make 3 plus 0, which is 3. That is answer. When you see the limit as x approaches infinity k, where k is a constant, the answer is k. Please remember this one. The next question is like this. When you put infinity into x, this form is infinity over infinity form. Do you remember this form, the previous video? We need to divide using the highest power of x in the denominator, which is x to the power of 20. So times 1 over x to the power of 20 like this. And then expand the first one like this. How about denominator? And then simplify. This makes 2 plus over, this makes 1 minus, this is 7, 13 is left over. And then next step is infinity into x over 1 minus 3 over infinity. And then 2 plus 0 over 1 minus 0. We don't need the 0 like this. So 2 over 1, which is 2. That is answer. And this is a shortcut again. Takes the highest power of x like this. You don't need this one. And then just simplify. What is this one? Just 2. That is answer. The next question is this one. Can you see the answer? It's 0. Let's check. The highest power of x in the denominator is this one, x to the power of 21. So now, let's divide like this. And then expand. The first one, second one, over like this, and then simplify. The first one is 2 over x squared plus 1 over x to the power of 21. This one is 1 minus 3 over x to the power of 14. And then put minus infinity into x. Minus infinity squared plus 1 over minus infinity to the power of 21 over 1 minus 3 over minus infinity to the power of 14, like this. And then next step, this one is 2 over infinity, which is 0, plus 1 over minus infinity or plus infinity, doesn't matter, 0, over, this is 1, minus, this is also 3 over infinity, to make positive, right? This is positive, but it doesn't matter, 0. So this is 0 over 1, which is 0. That is answer. And then try the shortcut. Just take the highest power of x in the numerator and limit as x approaches minus infinity, and simplify this one. 2 over x squared. So 2 over minus infinity into x minus infinity squared, the same thing, infinity, which is 0. Or you can see this one, so sometimes you can go to straight the answer. This one is next question. Don't make single fraction. You must first expand like this. And then second one. See that each expansion shows the infinity over infinity form, like this. And then let's use the shortcut. This one is 3x and x, just 3, minus, how about that one? X over 2x, make 1 over 2. So this is 6 over 2 minus 1 over 2. Answer is 5 over 2. The next question is this one. This question shows the infinity minus infinity form. Remember this one too? We will use the shortcut right away. Find the term with the highest power of x. That is this one. Don't think about this. And then put infinity into x, 3 infinity cubed. The answer is infinity. The next question is this one. Like question 5, we use the same technique. Just take the highest power of x, this one. We don't need to do this. And this is limit x approaches minus infinity. So put minus infinity into x is cubed. Then what is this one? It's still minus here, infinity. So this answer is minus infinity. This is the next question. Can you see the answer? Let's check. So we will take this one. And minus infinity put into x. How about this one? There is finally just infinity. It's positive. So answer is infinity. The next question is this one. We can draw the graph y equal to the power of x. Y-axis, 0, x-axis. This is like y equal to the power of x graph, like this. Remember that this is an exponential function when x approaches infinity, like this. Then what is the answer? It goes up. So this answer is infinity. And how about this one? When x approaches minus infinity, like this, decreasing and decreasing. So graph goes to 0. So this one answer is 0, like this. But what if you forgot what this graph looks like? Simply plug numbers into x. So how about this one? 2 to the power of infinity, make infinity. And how about this one? It's minus infinity, then make positive fraction form, like this. 1 over infinity, which is 0. So we have a same answer like this. These are next questions. Question 9 is almost the same as question 8. Let's grab this again. Y-axis. Remember that number is roughly equal to 2.72. So the graph is like this. This is 1. When x approaches infinity, it means that x keeps moving to the right, and which near is equal to 0. So this one is 0. And how about this? X approaches minus infinity, like this. X keeps moving to the left, which keeps going to the up, like this. So answer is infinity. You can also solve this question quickly without a graph. So put infinity into x, you get the negative power like this, which you can turn into a positive power. This one is infinity. So answer is 0. It's the same. And how about that one? It's already negative sign and minus infinity here. So make positive, which is infinity. That has the same answer. The last questions are this one. This one is more difficult. You must remember the y equal arctangent x graph, or at least y equal tangent x graph. I will start with the y equal tangent x. The graph is like this. This is pi, and like this. But we only need one period between minus pi over 2 and pi over 2. So I will take only this part. We only need one period. Remember that y equal arctangent x is the inverse function of y equal tangent x. So x becomes y and y becomes x. So I will draw like this. And then vertical asymptote change into horizontal. It's the same thing. the graph becomes a reflection along y equal x graph like this. So this one. So this is y equal arctangent x graph. Now you can see the answer. When x is increasing and increasing, the answer is pi over 2. And when x equals decreasing and decreasing, the graph goes to here. This is the asymptote. So that one is minus pi over 2. Please remember how to graph y equal arctangent x graph. I hope this video has been helpful. The previous lesson is also linked in the description bar below. If you have any questions, leave them in a comment. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe for more.